Welcome back to the Christian Women's Health Collective podcast. This month we're focused on toxins, and today we are going to be talking to you about the toxins that are in your kitchen. And we're not actually focusing on food, which is different for us. We are going to be focusing on the things that you are using to store and cook your food. So please let us know in the comment section below if we have forgotten something that you might know is toxic, or what you're willing to try and change in your own kitchen based off this podcast. And if you are not already a member in our membership group, we encourage you to join so that you can learn a lot more of the tips and tricks and tools that we use in our kitchens and with our members and what they use in their kitchens. It's only $7 a month and you've got nothing to lose. So come on in and join us. Otherwise, please remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with everyone that you know so we can continue to boost our algorithm. Thanks so much. And here we go. All right.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I will just say that I have gotten my husband so hyper aware of anything that can possibly shed in a pan that even so I bought these stone, like, I don't know what they're really made of, but they're some kind of a stoneware coating on the pan. And sure enough, it started to scrape off, and he was like, okay, well, that's it. And I was like, well, they're not Teflon, but if you use anything metal on something like that, you're sure to find out. So yeah, so we got rid of all of that, even though it was technically supposed to be clean, because it started to peel. And you were supposed to be able to use metal in it too. So it's just really interesting to see how you can get fooled, I guess, when you look at things and think that they're supposed to be really good. And it was Amazon. It was an Amazon purchase. I will say this, and I'm going to say this a lot probably in the next few weeks. If you see something on Amazon, don't buy it. If you're trying to be healthy, only if it's something that you're really trying to be healthy with. And that goes for vitamins, that goes for pots and pans, that goes for anything that you think, silicone ice cube holders, like anything that you think might be healthy for you. Don't buy it on Amazon. Go anywhere else and look for it. And here's why. It has now come out that there are these great con artists on Amazon that are recreating labels and product information and slapping it on an item that is not truly what you think you are buying. The vitamins is where it really came out, but now it's coming out on all kinds of products that are supposed to be good for you. So don't trust Amazon where your health is concerned. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's like the worst place you can go to buy things for your health. So I'll just touch on pots and pans because I know there's so much more. And I do a lot of cooking of meat, so I'm cooking in pots and pans a lot.
Yeah. So I would say one of the things that's used in the kitchen a lot is, or not by me anymore. Well, there's a lot of different ways I could go with this, I guess. Let's talk about the microwave. I think the microwave is a really interesting thing. I have a microwave when I got in my kitchen, because we talked about that last time. We did buy a microwave, and my husband's like, why are we buying a microwave? We don't even use one. And I said, no, I know we don't, but it's for the resale of the house. But also, when my house was gutted, that microwave actually is also a convection oven. So I had that delivered to the house along with, we had our grill outside. And so we would use the convection oven and we would use the grill to cook our food while we had no kitchen. But the microwave is not something that you want to use. It is going to change the structure of your food. It is going to make your food not as nutritious. If you're spending a lot on food, which I know you are right now, whether you buy organic or not, don't put it in the microwave. It doesn't take that much longer to actually put it in a pot and put it on the stove and boil your water. That's the way I make my coffee or my tea. I boil the water on my stovetop in a pot. So that is one area that I would say I would suggest you not use fat. So there's my, there's a lot of places I can go in the kitchen, but that is one that, yeah. How about you, Julie?
I use the microwave, not as much as I used to, which is a good thing. My cookware, we've pretty much, most of my cookware is an old stainless cookware that was David's mom's. So I don't have any Teflon or anything like that we use. Cast iron, I'll still use cast iron cookware. Lord, y'all may be going like, well, don't be using that.
Love me some cast iron.
Yeah, and then I've really tried to pay attention to plastic has kind of been something. So I'm so personal, and I don't want to get rid of anything that was a family member's, but I'm learning that I need to let that go, because like Tupperware is something that plastic ware, it's bothering me now. When I open the cabinet and I see plastic cups, I cringe. When I open up a Tupperware cabinet and and when it's just there, I cringe. There's reasons for convenience that it's there, that we use it. But I love the fact, it's kind of a good and a bad thing. I love the fact that I'm like, my mind is telling me, get rid of it, because it's a nudge, right? And so it's like, okay, I'm ready to listen to that nudge. And something that's been interesting to me about where I'm paying attention to the different toxins or how I need to shift. So I don't want to say it's right, because I think there's, that investigation part of it. But it's like when I investigate whatever that nudge is or do something, then it's like it either leaves my mind and frees me up for something else, or I find a new discovery of something else that I can start investigating. And it's kind of, it's like a feel good process as it goes along. Like I'm enjoying it. So that's it. I think that's the biggest kitchen change that I can think of, as far as like our pots and pans and then what we cook in. I've noticed too, I've not using quite as many bags, like baggy things. We've gotten away from that, which is, that feels good too to say. Yeah.
Nice. Well, quite a few things that we've changed in our kitchen. We do a lot of things differently now. I will say that we mostly cook with cast iron. That is my favorite to cook with. And as far as non-toxic, like probably my top 3 most non-toxic things that I like to use to cook with is glassware. Glassware is my favorite because it doesn't get into there's nothing toxic in glass that gets into your food. And so I like storing things in glass jars, glass Tupperware, glass cookware, in the oven and things like that. So I use a lot of glassware for cups to drink out of, teacups, things like that too. So glassware is probably my number 1 favorite, but then, well, I already said cast iron, but that's for cooking. That's a little different. Glassware is versatile for everything. But glassware is one of the least non-toxic. Then probably stainless steel. Like I use stainless steel pots and pans. Those are probably one of the best ones that you can get these days, is just going with stainless steel. And that goes for like silverware, utensils, knives, like literally everything that you use in your kitchen. And even on your silverware, it will say if it's stainless steel. You can look. So just try and stick to stainless steel if you can. Wooden things, like for cutting boards and spatulas. I love my bamboo spatulas. Those are my favorite ones that I cook with on the stove in my cast iron. I got rid of all the plastic ones. I don't use any plastic ones anymore because they melt and you're eating the plastic. How terrible is that for you? Same with the Teflon, when you scratch that and that's getting in your food, that's toxic. The prevalent chemicals that are in everything now. And so we got rid of all those. The only spatulas that we have are bamboo, silicone, or stainless steel. And then I'm trying to think what the other thing I was going to talk about. No, I can't remember. Oh, and then so lower down on the list would be stoneware and ceramics, because they're still cleaner than most things out there, but they can have contaminants. I don't know that, like the stoneware and ceramic stuff that they make, the clay and everything, I don't know how regulated that is. It's probably not super great, but I think porcelain is better, if I remember right.
I think so.
So those are still other options. I use porcelain teacups and ceramic teacups a lot still. I drink a lot of tea. But I don't heat my water in the microwave. I heat it in a tea kettle because I use it every single day for making tea and coffee. And it's a stainless steel tea kettle. And I have to tell you a story about that, because stainless steel tea kettles are my favorite. They're so easy to use. You just fill it with water and turn it on. They're great. The very first one I had for a very long time, then I ended up taking that to my office and I had to get a new one for at home. Well, so I just bought one that said it was stainless steel from Costco, and I brought it home and used it, and the water tasted like chemicals, and it was the worst thing ever. And I couldn't figure out how the plastic was getting into the water, but I don't know, it must have been in the metal or something, but it was terrible. I tried to use it for a couple of weeks and I finally gave up because I was like, this tastes like chemicals. I am not going to drink this. No one else wants to drink this. Like, it's terrible. So really have to be careful. Even with name brands, occasionally they come up with something that is not good. And so if it tastes like chemicals, I didn't pay that much for it, so I threw it away and found one with really good reviews that had completely stainless steel parts on the inside, and I don't have trouble making my tea anymore. But yeah, we try not to use the microwave much. I still use it occasionally. It's convenient. It's just one of those things, but we do our best.
Solely in my old
Yeah,
house, took the microwave out and put a hood in instead. And now in this long-term rental that we're in, my husband is so happy because he has a microwave. I'm like, oh, but whatever.
Entire countries where they don't even have microwaves.
I know.
Right?
You want to hear another funny story? Is that when we had an exchange student who came here, they must not have had microwaves, and I'm trying to think where she came from. I can't remember the name of the country. One of those little countries near Turkey or something. Anyway, she I was standing in front of the microwave waiting for something to cook, like popcorn or I don't know, how it's fun to watch, and she was just like, what are you doing? That is so bad for you. She was like, no, don't stand next to the microwave. And I was like, what, really? It's bad for me? I didn't know. I was just a kid, and she was just like, oh, you can't stand in front of the microwave, you're gonna fry your brain.
Love it.
Just a completely different perspective. Someone from another country who's they don't use microwaves, and just, she knew how bad it was. But, us Americans, I don't know, I guess we don't know some things. Sometimes it takes us a while to figure it out.
That's cute.
That's the thing. It seems like Americans are more about convenience than health.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem right there.
Yeah.
I think we've been ingrained to believe that, faster is better. And so we want everything immediate. And, we can't wait, whatever it is, a few more minutes for the water to be boiled or whatever. I do like your Breanne brought her tea kettle when she came, because she drove when we stayed together in a hotel, and that was great. But I was going to say about the microwave too, one of the problems too is that a lot of people will use plastic in the microwave. And what happens is the plastic leaches into the food, which is a problem. We don't want to eat plastic, and probably everybody has had that situation where the plastic is actually totally melted and you've had a hole, right? yeah, I think we've all had that. We've all seen that. Or the tomato sauce will never come off of that plastic thing that you put in the in that oven. But yeah, so I mean, it's just another reason. But yeah, and standing in front of the microwave.
Well, and just like the TV
Yeah.
dinners that they sell that have the foil, the aluminum tray in them to heat your food up so much faster. A, you're going through the molecular change from the microwave, and B, you're eating very hot food off of very hot aluminum, and aluminum is so bad for you as a heavy metal for your brain. There's just nothing good about it. So that's the one other thing I wanted to mention was foil. So if I buy bulk meat, I package it and put it in the freezer, and I wrap it in parchment paper first so that it's completely covered. Then I wrap it in plastic wrap. Then I wrap it in foil so that it's, not touching any of those other, the plastic or the foil, but then it's got a really tight seal. And the purpose for that is because any extreme temperature change where plastic and foil are concerned creates a detriment to your own molecular buildup. So just that's something that people still want to use on a consistent basis. They cover food with plastic and throw it in the microwave. They wrap meat in foil and cook it in the oven, and it's just so dangerous. So you're better off buying a roasting pan and covering it than you are cooking with foil.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm 100% with you, Leigh Ann. I was going to say the same thing. We stopped using aluminum foil for everything. We use parchment paper for everything now. Even like food storage and stuff like that, like everything in the freezer, wrapping meat, cooking meat. Like I even use parchment paper on the grill. You have to be careful. But yes, like we stopped using foil, covering things with foil, and then the food steaming on it, and you're just getting so much aluminum. It's so bad. So yes, the saran wrap and the aluminum, get rid of it. I just recently got some beeswax wraps for our glass food containers and stuff instead of like plastic lids or the saran wrap or whatever, So I'm excited. I just used one for the first time the other day. It's great.
And yeah, because like another thing along with that is like with the if you do use Ziplocs, which we still will use Ziplocs, but I will line them with the parchment paper and then put my thing in it, or wrap the parchment paper around it so the plastic from the Ziploc is not, also getting to my food or my cat food or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get away from all of those things, but we can make them healthier. You can do different things.
And mitigate some of the toxins. Yeah.
Costco sells a huge roll of parchment paper, and I always buy about 4 of them, and they last me, I don't know, a year. So
yeah, they sell like the double, like really big packages. I have the parchment paper from Costco too. Because we use so much of it.
Yeah, I'm finishing up my last roll now, and I bought it at Christmas last year. About 4 rolls.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
You guys, I have to go on a tangent here too about straws.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed this podcast. If you're in the membership, we're so glad that you're here. Be sure to listen in for the entire membership podcast. If you're not in the membership, well, then I ask that you remember to
like,
subscribe,
share,
and hit that notification bell so you know every time we put out a new podcast, and we will see you next week.